Hey guys, welcome back to Your Champion Body YouTube channel with me, your guy, Ron Williams. Listen, today I want to talk about the complexity of the calves. You know, for many years of competing, I've seen so many things. I've judged actually, bodybuilding championships and that type of thing. And there's certain things that you have to look for. And one is the aesthetics of the body. So I want to talk about the complexity of the calf and how important it is to actually building that calf and making it look good in such a way that it balances your body out. And it's really complex because you've got several things that you're working with. You're actually working with the length of the tibia and the fibula, that calf bone. You're also working with the muscle fiber that's in that calf bone, and you're working with the length of the calf. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and proceed a little bit further. But it's really complex as you're going through this process. Number one, we have the length of the bone. And as you can see here, these two people are the same height, but the calf bone, the tibia and the fibula, they're a different length. And as you can see this different length here, if they have a really high muscle, it doesn't look pleasing to the eye on either one of these bone structures. Really similar to a bicep. You can have a short bone like I have, and then a long bicep, which makes that muscle actually look bigger. My arm actually looks bigger than what it really is because I have a short bone from here to here and a fairly long muscle from here to here in the same way. So it bunches my arm up to make it look more full and bigger. If you have a long bone with a short muscle, that muscle could actually measure bigger, but it looks smaller. So as we're building our bodies, I said this to you before, we have the ability to take the arm off, take the legs off, shape and form that muscle group, and then put it all back together. Let's proceed forward with the calf. Okay, now we have three competitors. Again, and we're looking at them, at their upper bodies. And if we look at the competitor in the middle, man, he is thick, he's full, and he's got, a tremendous amount of muscle, and his muscle bellies are full. So with that being said, he has the potential of beating the other two competitors. Again, let's take the sheets away and let's look at the lower extremities. Their bodies change form, it changed shape, and not only that, but we have a whole new outlook when we look at these lower extremities. We look at the guy on the left. Actually, his calves are too big for the rest of his body. He's out of balance, but his calves are beautiful. He's got a long muscle there with a fairly short bone with thick muscle fiber. So his calves, he doesn't have to do anything to his calves and they'll grow. But the guy in the center, there's not a whole lot that he can do to make his calves much bigger. What you have, you can make better. But you're limited to the muscle fiber that's there. The reason I'm telling you this first, I want you to understand first what you are dealing with, and I want you to say, I'm the guy in the middle, I'm the guy on the left side, I'm the guy on the right side. When you have that in your mind, then we know how to work those calves to build them the way you want them built. Okay, take a look at the picture again. Look at the guy on the right side. If he can balance the rest of his body out to balance with his calves, he has the potential of winning this competition, and his body is more aesthetic when you look at the overall picture. So what does this say to you? What are your goals with your calves? What are your goals with your entire body? But we want to look at the calves today, what we need to do to build the calves. Some of you, if your calves are like the guy on the left side, you may need to overtrain your calves because overtraining actually deteriorates muscle. And if your calves are that huge, it may cause you some problems in your balance. Or some people like really huge calves. So people, when they're walking around in their shorts, they say, wow, look at those calves. Those are not calves, those are cows. Okay, now I want you to see this. Now, this first scenario, this is a calf that is a medium calf with very, very thin fiber, not very much fiber at all. But then you look again and you see another calf. It's the exact same bone structure, same length, but it has medium muscle fiber. We look the third time and we see a calf that is relatively large. It's a medium calf, but there's a tremendous amount of muscle fiber there. This calf will grow like crazy. There's not much you have to do to make this calf grow. But those of you that are medium and you have thin fiber, there are things that you definitely have to concentrate on that I'm going to show you that needs to be done to maximize your calf workout. These guys that have calves like the one you see on the right, they can do just about anything and their calves will grow. They can have poor form and it'll still grow. Just going through the movement of working the calves, it'll still grow. But if you're struggling with the calf growth, don't listen to a person that has a tremendous amount of muscle fiber and a long calf because they really don't know how to work their calves. They just have genetically gifted calves. They'll tell you, hey, go walk around on your toes. Hey, I used to do a lot of jumping when I was a kid. No, they were born like that. Let's go forward. Now we look at the bottom of this particular slide. And this is what the calf muscle looks like on the inside. So we see the one that has thin calf or muscle fiber, and we see the one that has medium calf or muscle fiber, and then we have the one that has a lot of muscle fiber there that has the ability to grow like wildfire. If you look to the left, you see the arrow pointing to that calf. This is where a high calf would start. You can't do too much to lengthen it, but you can get all you can out of the length you already have. And what do you do? How do you do that? You must get a full range of motion. If your calf is already short, please, please, please don't do partial reps because that'll make the calf look even shorter. You're only going to develop that calf as much as you work the calf. And if you do a short range of motion, within that range of motion that you're working in, that's where the calf is actually going to develop. So you want to get a full stretch all the way down and a peak contraction all the way up. Now we look again and we see the medium calf. It starts right here where these three are. These three muscle groups, these three legs are medium calves. But you go a step further, and this is where the long calf muscle group starts. They almost look like bowling pins. This long calf goes all the way down, almost into your ankles. These calves right here are beautiful calves, especially for an athlete or a bodybuilder. Okay, I want you to take a look at this guy. Really, really nice guy. The thing about him is he's actually a competitor that has won the Olympia. It wasn't because he had the best body that was up there, but he took what he had and he maximized it. But what could he have done to make his body look a little bit better? If you look at his calves, you'll notice that if he had a weak body part, it's definitely his calves. So in order for him to try to maximize what he has, look at his calves. Look at his calves. What if he had a little more size on his calves? That would balance out his body just a little more. Keep looking. Let's go back. They look like this, but what if he added just a little mass that looks like that? Wouldn't that be incredible for his physique? He would be much, much harder to beat. How do we build that? Building that dorsiflexor is not the hardest thing to do. The dorsiflexor is the muscle that sits right on the front of your the calf bone, on that shin bone, and we can thicken that muscle to add a little size and dimension to the calf overall. So don't negate the importance of that dorsiflexor because it can make the difference for you. I hope you like the information that I just gave you, because next week I'm actually going to show you how to work that dorsiflexor to give that calf the appearance that you want it to have. Not only that, but I'm going to show you how to build the biggest, thickest calf that your body is capable of building. So make sure you tune in next week, guys. God bless you. I love you. Till next week. Boom!